Hi art students, it's time for art and let's start off with Godzilla of the Week. Today, I don't have a Godzilla monster per se, but he's very similar. This is an Ultraman monster and he's part of my model collection and he's about the same size. So this is an Ultraman monster and this guy's name is Baltan. And he was designed by the same Godzilla designer back in the day. I forgot his name. But he did the Godzilla movies, and then he also did a TV show called Ultraman, and Ultraman became super popular back in in the 60s. So that's like 60 years ago, and it was a really popular show back in the day because they didn't have a lot of color television. Like it was black and white back then, and this was like one of the first color shows for kids, and they're big monsters and they're fighting, so you can imagine how awesome this was back in the 60s. We didn't have fancy computer animation. You can see his shoes. You can totally tell it was a guy in a suit. So he's got like this leotard on, he's got this big helmet on and these big like pincher arms, but he was a pretty popular monster and he fought Ultraman. So that's it. This guy's name is Baltan. This is a model. And I really like the series, that's why I got him. Oh, he's pretty cool. Not as cool as Godzilla. But I'm running out of Godzillas. Okay, so let's get on to the art portion of the video. Hi, fifth graders. Let's talk about our new project, Spiral Mosaic. So hopefully this will be interesting. I feel bad because I just realized that your last project was construction paper and was cutting and pasting. I'm like, uh-oh, I kind of gave you the same thing. Don't worry, we'll do more drawing stuff and different stuff soon. So, but anyways, this is what you get. Get a big black paper. Mine's kind of folded here. You're gonna get these colors. There should be like 5 colors here, and they're stapled. So just really carefully try to remove it. You can just like very slowly. You don't, and if you do rip it, just be careful. If you rip it, no, you can't have a new paper. Look at that, I did it amazingly. You might tear it a little, that's okay. And then, I kind of bent it a little and then kind of safely pulled it out. We're going to be putting little bits of mosaic over that soon anyways. And then I'm just going to I use my fingernail, kind of got this out. Throw this away, this could be dangerous. Like you don't want to step on this with your bare feet, this staple. Alright. So, and we got some colors. We're going to make a mosaic. Alright, I got a bunch of colors. But the first thing is make sure you put your name on the back of your paper. In fact, I'm just going to put my name right here, and then I'll flip it over. So make sure, that's the first thing you do. Put your name on your paper, that way I can grade it and I know who it is. Make sure it's readable, and then you put the letter of your class. Johnson, you put a J, circle it. Cool Maze, you put a K. Okay, I'm going to flip this over. So I got my name on the back. Now, I have these papers, and technically I have more than enough. You just may not have enough, like, oh, I want to do a lot more blue. Well, no. So technically, I've got, more than enough. Okay? And what you're going to do is we're going to make spirals. We're going to make a mosaic of spirals. So you don't have to worry about drawing anything because that can be kind of difficult. What I recommend first is just in the center of your... let's see, how do I want to do this? At the center, you're going to draw your spiral first. Now, there's different kinds of spirals. Like, I kind of wanted to do let's see, what do we want to do? Let's do a regular spiral. The problem is it's going to be kind of tricky. Okay, here we go. Now, when you make your spiral, you want to make sure it's like not too close together. Like, you don't want to make a tight spiral because you got to put little bits of color in there, and you got to cut them out and glue. So you want to make kind of a big spiral. So watch, you'll kind of see how big it is. So it's going to go like... Now look, I'm running out of paper, so I'm just going to imagine it going around, right? And now you're like, oh good, if I make a big spiral, I just have to have a little bit of mosaic follow that spiral. No. You're totally going to fill the whole thing. But you don't want to have too small of a spiral because then it's like, it'll be hard to do. But technically, you're going to be gluing stuff all over this, so don't freak out. if you messed up your spiral. Like, I guess you could flip it over and try again, but the spiral is going to be covered up. So don't worry about it. This is just like a guideline so that you know that when you do your, like once you start gluing all your little pieces in a spiral, then you won't even need the drawing anymore. So don't freak out. Don't ask for another black paper. No, no. If you mess up, you can flip it over, but this line isn't that essential. It's just a guideline. You want to get started. We're going to do one spiral, and then we'll add another one and stuff like that. So this is going to be covered up. Don't freak out. Don't ask for another black paper. Okay. How about, boy, I'm mean, huh? If you do flip it over, make sure you put your name on this side, right? I need your name on your paper. Okay, we need some glue, so you get some kind of glue at home. Elmer's glue will work better than glue stick, so if you have this, use this. If you don't, I guess you can try a glue stick, but make sure you use a bunch of glue stick, right? Because this will work better. Okay, now we want to pick some colors. So for each, now eventually you can mix these up, these colors, as much as you want, but you need to have similar colors for some of your spirals so that you can kind of make out the spiral. If you just have like random colors like all over the place, then you're not going to be able to figure out that it's a spiral. So what I recommend is basically there's going to be stripes in your spiral. Like you're going to start with a stripe along this line. Then on the inside you're going to do another one with different colors, right? And then you'll do a third one, but you want to start with one good stripe. Now, I recommend like 2 colors for, let's see. So like you could pick, I'm going to pick like orange and pink, okay? And I'm going to move these over. Now, what you want to do is you want to cut these really small, okay? Like don't, I'm curious if I can do it like together. So I'm going to take these 2 together. Don't worry if they're not perfectly straight, but don't make don't make big pieces and be lazy. You want to have very small pieces. So this is, yeah, you can cut both of these pages at the same time. It'll kind of save some time. So I'm going to do 2 colors. That way we can kind of mix them. You'll see. But don't make them big, kind of, thin. So boy, I should even make them thinner than this. This is kind of thick. So how big exactly am I doing? Well, it's like, do 1/4 of an inch. So let's see here. If some are thicker, notice how I didn't draw my lines. It's okay if some are thicker and thinner. Like this one's almost too thick. I can almost cut this in half again, but it's okay. You want it more like this. This is a little too thick. How big is that? I don't know. You really want me to measure? I'll measure for you. Let's see here. This is, yeah, it's like 1/4 of an inch. This one's like 1/4 of an inch. This one's more like almost 1/2 an inch. So 1/4 of an inch is better. I don't know. Don't draw the lines. Don't draw the lines and cut them out because then you'll have a bunch of lines. But you can like maybe see what like cut one that 1/4 of an inch. You can see, oh, it's like that thin. Oh, I gotta cut them that thin. Yeah, okay. Anyways, I'm gonna cut these 1/4. So these are thin. All right. You're like, Mr. Smith, how come you didn't cut them out for me? That would have taken forever for me. These are kind of too thick, so I'm gonna cut these in half again. Okay. Or maybe not. It's going to be hard to cut them in half. Here, I'm going to do this. Yeah, forget it. I got a different plan for these guys. It's not the end of the world if you have them a little thicker. Now, what you want to do is, eventually you're going to have a million little pieces. So you're going to need a Ziploc bag to organize all your extra pieces, because you're going to have a bazillion of these things. So, oh boy. Here we go. Now, again, you may not be able to cut all of them. Let's see here. Yeah. If it's too hard to cut, see, just don't cut them all at the same time. Okay, I'm going to cut them real quick. We're running out of time here. It's taking forever for me just showing you how to do it. There you go. So you can see, like, oh, that's kind of cool. Remember, not too big. I know you're tempted. I know. I wasn't born yesterday. I know you're thinking, oh, if I make my little mosaic pieces a little bigger, it'll be easier to do. It'll be faster. That's true, but it won't look as good. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. They're not all the exact same size, and that's good. I mean, you don't want them to all be the same size. Some are a little bigger, some are smaller. It's all good. That'll make it have variety and be interesting, right? So, but here you can see I'm getting a big pile. Now, what about these big ones I did? You're like, oh, Mr. Smith, you blew it. You made them too. It's like half an inch instead of a quarter of an inch. Well, you know what I can do is I can cut them long ways. Here, let me see if I can show you like this. So they're like little longer pieces. They're shorter this way, but they're wider this way. So they're almost like thinner rectangles. And you're like, oh, is that okay? Yeah. Your pieces can be different shapes. You just don't want them to be too humongous. I could even do little like I don't want to, but like I could make them like little triangles too. Maybe let me try it. I don't know if this is gonna look good. I'm gonna mix it up. I am gonna do some triangles. So watch triangles, or well, that was kind of like a like a parallelogram. I'm gonna on purpose like kind of make them. Let's see what this looks like to get some variety. Actually, I think it's gonna look cool. But maybe I don't want to do them all like that. Here, I'm gonna do some more. I'm gonna do some more straight ones. All right, let's see here. But you can see I have a lot of these pieces now, like a lot. Oh, and they're getting all over the place. It's gonna be great. Maybe have a box to like, maybe you cut them into a box. Like some of these flew under my keyboard over here. Okay, so I got all these pieces. There they are. They're great. And I'm just gonna move them over. I'm gonna move them over here. Hopefully I have enough. Now let's see if this works. I'm not going to go all the way with my glue, but I want to make like a stripe. So let's see, here we go. I'm just going to go this far. Let's see if this works. Now remember how I said that can be kind of lumpy? So again, you can use the side of your orange and just kind of like kind of blend it a little so it's not so... Okay, I'm going to get a bunch of these. I got them in hand. Okay, here we go. Oh, look at that. I was going to say, it doesn't matter. Oh, you can't even see the color very well. It's technically, you want to alternate, like, you know, pink. Like, I'm using pink and orange. You know, if you wanted to use different colors, like maybe you want to do blue and green, go for it. I mean, I don't care. Let's see here. The first line, the first spiral doesn't have to be perfect. What's going to be tricky is when we do kind of like our second line. Oops. See, I kind of got two pinks next to each other. You're like, oh my gosh, is that okay? Yeah. Well, here, I'm going to move this one over. I want to put a pink one in the middle. Now, see, I kind of messed up there. You want to try to leave a little bit of black in between. Although if it overlaps, it's fine. You want to try to leave a little bit of black in there. Don't leave like giant gaps like this. Oh, it's going to be easier if I skip like, and I go way over here, right? No, you want a thin gap. Let's see, kind of like that gap, or closer. You don't want to totally overlap them, is what I'm trying to say. So let's see here. Okay. Press them down too. The trick is not to get glue everywhere. It's like, oh man, that can happen. Oh. Remember, it's better just to cut these shapes. Don't draw lines, because then you have all kinds of pencil lines on your little mosaic shapes, and that's no good. Like, it won't look as good. It's better, and like, notice that my shapes are all kind of irregular. Totally fine. Now, notice how these are almost starting to be too perfect, like perfectly lined up like dominoes. I mean, I guess technically you can do that, but overall, it's kind of better if they're not perfect. Like, see how some of these shapes are all kind of all over the place? Like, that's going to be better. Oh boy, this is going to take forever. It's going to be fun. We got 3 weeks to work on this, so don't worry about it. 3 weeks. That's lots of time. It will take a long time. So don't feel like you have to finish this all in 1 week. Don't leave it all off to the last week either. Don't be like, I'm just going to do this in 1 week. No. No, no, no. Okay. There we go. Okay, I'm running out of glue. Okay, so I'm going to add some more glue. Look, I can flip that one the other way. Okay. Oop, I got too many orange ones in a row. I mean, it's kind of okay, like if I just did an orange strip too. I mean, I'm not... In my opinion, it looks better if you pick two similar colors and you do them like a... like pink and orange are kind of close together. Let's see, what other colors do we have? I could have done yellow and orange. Blue and green kind of go together, but I could have done like yellow and green. I could have done pink and yellow. I mean, it's up to you. I mean, you can make your own decisions about those things. It's just you want to keep it kind of consistent because, like I'm purposely make that go the other way. And this one's. It's okay to be to mess it up. Eventually, what's going to happen is we're going to fill in all these like black gaps. So you're like, oh, that's funky. That looks weird. No, but there'll be other like pieces of mosaic tile kind of fitting in there, and it'll look good and interesting. Mosaics aren't typically like super perfect. In fact, it's almost like the like the irregularity is the word I'm trying to say, makes it look kind of interesting. That's kind of the charm. That's why it looks so good. And when you stand away, it looks neater. Oh my gosh, like the glue is getting on my finger. So when I glue it down, it sticks to my finger still. So maybe you can like rub off glue from your finger, wipe it on your pants, or don't if your parent would get mad at you for doing that. That's like what boys do. They just wipe it on their like good pants. So girls know better, maybe. Just maybe get a napkin, or you can just like rub it off like the glue. Okay, I don't have glue here. Let's see. Okay. Okay. So, let's see. What do we want to do for today? I'm not going to finish this. This will take forever. You don't want to watch me doing this for forever. So what do you want to finish for this week? You want to go all the way around your spirals. So you're going to do a lot more. I only went this far. So you're going to keep going. And I recommend you just finish that much today. That'll be our beginning point. Then next week, I'm going to pick two other colors. Maybe I'll do blue and green. Maybe I'll do green and yellow. And what I'll do is I'll kind of go along this edge, and I'll do green and yellow. And I'll kind of follow along in there, right? And then for my third one, I just have to use whatever I've left. Yellow, maybe I can use yellow and pink, or yellow and green, or whatever I got in the middle, because I'm gonna run. But it looks like I can almost have like 3 rows. But that's what you want to do. In fact, I kind of got to finish it. I got to finish it off camera. So next week I'll have my first row done. Ugh, I'll do it while I'm watching TV. If your parents are nice, maybe they'll let you watch some TV while you're doing this, or listen to music. This takes some time. But you can. This is one of those projects where you can you don't have to concentrate too much. Where I give you permission if your parents say it's okay. But if they say you can watch TV while you're doing this, you can't play video games while you do this. But you can listen to music or watch TV while you're doing this, and you can just kind of like that way. It doesn't take forever. Although when you watch TV, you might be distracted. It'll take longer, so music is better. But finish this whole. So like I used pink and orange, and I would go all the way around. I'll finish this later, and then next week I'll have that done. That way you don't have to watch me like glue them all down. Then next week we're going to pick 2 other colors, and we're going to like go along in here. So it'd be like a second stripe, and it'll look different because it'll be two different colors. And then for our final week, we'll just fill in everywhere. And I'm telling you, you're gonna fill it all in. You wanna leave these little black spaces. It makes it a little, don't make them too big, but kind of like this. That way you can, what happens is because of the black outline, it makes the colors more bright. They call it like they pop. They pop off the page. So you definitely don't want to, like here I overlapped it a little bit. You actually kind of want it to be more like this where they don't overlap. And you'll just go around all the way around. And then if you have a lot of extras like this, put them in a bag because you might need them at the end. You might need them to fill in little holes. You'll have like a million holes and you want to fill in all those black holes. So don't throw these away, even if you have extras. If you cut out like a ton of, pink and orange or whatever two colors you did today, you don't have to use pink and orange, but you probably have a lot of extra. Just put them in a Ziploc bag, like a clear sandwich bag, and save them because you might need them for the end. Okay? So that's it. That's a lot of work to do. But this will look really neat when you're done. And make sure they glue down. I don't know. The trick is to make this neat. To not use too much glue and to not, even if you smear the glue on the black a little bit, that's okay because you're going to be putting more like little mosaic tiles down. But sometimes you get a little glue on this stuff. Just try your best. Try your best to keep it neat. Eventually, sometimes you have to like clean you have to yeah, see, you got to get the glue off your fingers. Wash your hands. I should have told you this. Wash your hands before you do this. If your hands are like gross and dirty, then when the glue gets on that and you put it down, there'll be like dirt in there. I forgot to tell you that. You're at home though. You're probably not playing outside. But that's it. So hopefully this will be interesting. Do the whole spiral. And then next week we'll do another spiral. We've got 3 weeks to work on this, so don't feel like you have to finish this. It'll take a long time, so just do one spiral this week, and then next week we'll do another spiral, and then and we'll get it done in 3 weeks. So thanks for watching. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time. Bye.